Tonight, Q exposes the media's push to label QAnon as conspiracy theory, and we have the two posts that were deleted from the Patriots Fight board over on 8chan. Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Just Informed Talk. For those of you who don't know, I start off every one of these episodes by saying thank you to each and every one of my subscribers. Without you guys, this channel just wouldn't exist. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. And if you have not hit that subscribe button already, a great way to help out the channel is to come over here, hit the big red subscribe button. If you like what you hear, make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way, as soon as these videos get posted, you'll be notified, because as soon as information is made available to me, I make it available to you. Now, jumping into the latest Q post, there is so much information here. This is incredible. So he gives us, I haven't even counted them up, but there must be at least a dozen articles here. And there is actually 18 articles in total here, over a dozen, well over a dozen. So it's saying coordinated, all for a LARP, attacks will only intensify in the kill box. Ask yourself why, Q. Now, what do all these articles link to, and what is their common thread? Well, their common thread is this narrative about QAnon and how it's a conspiracy, pointing out that Trump is a genius. So first you have the storm is the new Pizzagate, only worse, and this is out of the New York Magazine. You have, sorry about that. You have The Wizard of Q out of Harper's Magazine, which is just talking about how it's a novel and it's not real. And then you go on into some of these articles, conspiracy theories that says Trump is a genius. You have conspiracy theory that says Trump is a genius. Again, a lot of these people are just mirroring each other's headlines. Conspiracy theory claims Trump is a secret genius who pretended to collude with Russia to defeat child sex traffickers. Well, close, but not really even in the same ballpark, I think. The conspiracy theory that says Trump is a genius. Out of Real Clear Politics, you have the Metro reporting people are claiming Trump is a secret genius who's only pretending to collude with the Russians. You have the Washington Post talking about the conspiracy theory behind a curious Roseanne Barr tweet that we have already talked about. There was, again, the crisis in journalism that's helping Trump. And then this one goes into how QAnon is fake as well. And then you have Newsweek, how the storm became the biggest fake news story of 2018. It actually gives a video here to the Comedy Central video that you guys, we've already gone over about this Jordan show, Jordan something or other. He's on a show on Comedy Central that basically I think replaced what Stephen Colbert was doing. And they basically purport to be a conspiracy news show. They've said it's based off of Alex Jones, so on and so forth. It's this guy talking about it's the opposition here with Jordan Klepper. Just all types of stuff in this video where they go over and try to basically to make Q look crazy. Basically, it's just making it out to be some sort of LARP, that there is no real conspiracy here. That, I mean, the Q's not exposing a real conspiracy, that there's the Q himself is the conspiracy. And it's just, it's fascinating. You know, you go with all these people and you see exactly, they even use the wrong Q map. I don't even think this is close to what the actual Q map is. They put on here, different stuff. Really, it's all part of a disinformation campaign, in my opinion. Then you have, of course, CNN on Roseanne tweeting about Trump conspiracies. And then again, Roseanne Barr's unhinged pro-Trump conspiracy theory. Again, Roseanne Barr's tweet for support of the right-wing Trump conspiracy. I mean, which one is it, right? The right-wing conspiracy theory. So that's what their basic premise is. That's how they're gonna just kind of get rid of us, is by labeling us as a conspiracy theory and then wiping us under the rug. And it's like President Trump has freed children from pimps all over this world. Yeah, hopefully that's true. I mean, why would we be mocking that if that were the truth? But Q is saying that all of these attacks are coordinated. And why would they have so much coordination if it was all for a LARP? And for those of you who don't know what a LARP is, it's a reference as a derogatory remark made about people who are following and involved with the Q movement. And it's an acronym meaning live action role player or playing. And that's what they want to call this. But then at the same time, they're having these massive coordinated media blitzes that are trying to put out disinformation about Q and basically gaslighting all of the people who are here following Q and putting the hard work in behind the research of what Q is trying to present to us in order to develop this broader dialogue about what's actually going on in the deep state, in the corrupt swamp that we've been trying to drain with Trump. So obviously it's incredible to see this as coordinated attack and all for a LARP. It just doesn't make sense. But Q's warning us that attacks will only intensify, which, I want to address something really quickly before we go any further about this attacks will only intensify. There are some out there who have taken this to heart, this QAnon versus Alex Jones controversy and Jerome Corsi and Jones. I just want to make it very clear. I am not here to promote infighting. I am here to promote the message of objective reporting, but this is ultimately an opinionated editorial commentary of what's going on. So I'm going to give you my opinion as well. But my attempt to bring you objective information coincides with my attempt to give you the full scope of the picture so that you guys are able to make your own decisions. So if you want to go back and watch this, if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead, feel free. I do my best to keep it as objective as possible, although I am entitled to have an opinion. So I just want to thank everybody who's supported me in there. And then to all the people who are worried about infighting. They're worried about, it's not even an attack on anyone in particular here. It's just a lot of commenters were very worried about the supposed infighting this is going to create. Well, I would argue that the attempts to divide are mainly on the part of those who don't understand that this is a more complex game that we are playing than we even may understand at times. And with Alex Jones and QAnon, there are certain things that I appreciate that Alex Jones does, and there are a lot of things that I appreciate that QAnon does. So I don't have to draw some line in the sand and say that Alex is one thing or another. If I'm objective myself and I like to watch different views of different opinions, I like to collect as much information as I can. And no one can deny some of the reporting that Alex Jones has done has been important to spreading truth and getting people aware. But it's up to you to decide whether or not you have the filter to look at other people's presentation of information and make the judgment for yourself whether you think it's true or not. I cannot do that for you, but what I can do is give you my opinion and do my best to give you an objective look at things as they appear on the surface. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments, obviously, but I'm not here to perpetuate this infighting debacle that everybody is saying is what is being done here. Sometimes people have to be corrected and told, that they're a part of something that may be helping or may not be helping, but that's only for time to tell. We can't make that kind of insinuation without more information. So, that's just a clarification to that. Not that I thought it only warranted it because a lot of people are concerned that we're starting to fight amongst ourselves, and I don't see that as being the case at all. I think for those who feel guilty, who have guilt in their hearts, they're the ones who reacted the strongest, obviously, and that's just what it seems to be from an outside objective look in. So you guys let me know, though. It's up to you to figure a lot of this out for yourself as well, what it means for you in your life and how you're going to interpret the information. I'm merely here to bring you the information. So ask ourselves why. Why will the attacks only intensify? Well, you have Alex Jones even calling Q fake and that it's been hijacked. So that's an intensification. That's a movement of intensification to another level. And it's obvious that that's meant to create this dynamic of distrust. So, I mean, obviously, on the surface, if you're calling something fake and you're saying it's unreliable, then you are yourself guilty of trying to inject a level of mistrust among those who are merely trying to seek the truth. And I think that that's also selling short most people's critical thinking skills and their ability to filter information, because most of us out there, have a pretty good filter for this, especially if you've been following this pretty closely. You have a filter for things that sound right and things that sound wrong. Now, you're not going to be right 100% of the time, but it's always important to understand that people are able to make their own decisions and have their own views. So this is what the attacks are meant to do, though. It's about gaslighting us as individuals together. That's why Q's pointing to all of these articles. We, the people who are here on these boards and working to bring this information and share this information, and who love our country and are patriots and love God first, it seems like we're the ones being targeted for the gaslighting, so that they'll make it look, so that they make us question our own sanity and question our own validity in following certain pieces of information. But I'm a proponent of trusting and then verifying, trust but verify, I should say. Now, these are the two posts that are seemingly slightly controversial here, because they are from Q. And they seem to be with his new trip code, so they were him, and it seems like they were posted on the Patriots Fight 8chan board. Now, what's interesting to note, though, is that when you go to the Patriots Fight 8chan board, it appears that those posts have been removed for some reason. So I don't have the answer as to why those posts were removed. Only Q probably, or somewhat a part of Q, would know that. But I can tell you this, that they were removed, but we're going to go over them very quickly. And I think I have a good idea why, but we'll see. Here is this billboard, and Q references this picture of this billboard where somebody put it up in Oklahoma. Now, I think this picture was first featured on the Great Awakening thread over at Reddit, and then that seems like it was where it was picked up. And it says, "Where we go one, we go all, hashtag the Great Awakening," and then gives a website here, doyouknowq.com. So if you check out that website, you'll see some interesting stuff, but it says here in Killbox, they are afraid, they are losing control of the message. Where we go one, we go all Q. So it seems like Q was proud of that board being put up, and he was saying that, the globalist Luciferian cabal of traitors and pedophiles, they're afraid because they're losing control of the message, and they can't stop people from going out and independently buying a billboard and putting it up, or putting up a website. But what's interesting about the website, I did go check it out. You come here, and it's, a lot of people are saying on the boards that it's basically just a way to make money. It seems like they're selling domain names for Q, and but obviously everybody's got to make a living in this world, so I don't want to knock that aspect of it as much as I want to point to the fact that it gives you a little bit of information about things. And it was funny enough, I did go into this part here where it's the tab labeled journalists, and it gives people who do Q posts breakdowns, but then it lists Dr. Corsi and Tracy Beans, who a lot of people have said and are saying that, first of all, we've just gone through this whole controversy with Dr. Corsi, and a lot of people aren't sure about Tracy Bean's motivations, although I can't speak to her motivations. I can only speak to my own. But I did notice that my channel is featured here, and they do have a link to my video, and they have a breakdown of it. So it's just a little interesting to see what's going on here. And then you go through here, you go to their store, and they're selling domain names. And you go to their about page, and it kind of just goes over that they wanted to share this information, and I don't know. To be quite honest, I don't want to say that I know what's going on with these people. They talk about how they put up the billboard, and I don't have the answers about what this website is. A lot of people are just saying one way or the other. Why don't you let me know what you think? Excuse me, in the comments. But it seems to me like a patriot trying to spread the word of Q. They put a lot of work in this website, and obviously, there clicks get money and everything else. So, excuse me. We'll have to let time tell what this is and why Q pulled this off of the 8chan board. I don't know. But that was the post. Now, the other post that he had put up was right here of this picture, right? And this puts together a very interesting story of what Q's been telling us, right? So we'll kind of blow this up a little bit and look at it. And it's saying the picture is the 74 post on the 8chan board, right? The Patriots fight. And Q says, fellow Patriots, what you're about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control freedom. The information that will become public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt pure evil abuse of power that the Hussein administration undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has begun rolling. There's no stopping it. D5. Stay the course and trust the plan. Protective measures are in place. Remain brave. We knew this day would come. And it gives the video that's going to get Trump elected here in the YouTube post, which is like a campaign video. It's a cut together of different Trump speeches, or a Trump speech with a bunch of different pictures. And then it says, united we stand worldwide. Where we go one, we go all. We fight conspiracy no more Q. Now, the AN0N who made, or no, Q, I think, who made this, put the box over the 74 here. And what they point to with the arrows here is this picture of this flag that was hung to welcome home the three people who were released, the three hostages that were being held by North Korea and then released. And interestingly enough, the fire engine, right, here is Q74. If you guys can not see that, we'll just blow that up a little. But you see right here, they're pointing to it with arrows saying it's Q74. So let's go back and see what that meaning, if that has any significance. Well, Q says the image search, you have to image search for fire truck / engine. Letter common in front of number, post 74. Coincidence, U.S. flag, post, castle lock, pointed reference, columns understood, Q. So they're giving us another proof of Q here, and let me explain how that all makes sense. So if you scroll down a few posts back to 1333, and 1333 is the reference post here by Q. Let's go down. So what he's saying is the castle lock with freedom in this flag, right? This was 75. This was post 74. So 74 came right before 75, which was the American flag, and it referenced to castle lock, Q. So what does that all reference back, and how does that tie back to Q? So just remember where this is and what it is referencing. It's the flag with the castle lock. So now Q is pointing back to it and saying, is it a coincidence that post 74, the post after it had a U.S. flag and castle lock? And castle lock could have been referring to some type of exchange. It's a chess reference. It could be referring to the deal being locked in to get back the hostages, and that the North Korea deal has already basically been settled. I mean, that would make more sense, especially given what we know from previous Q posts, to say that Q's giving us the information ahead of time to say something to the effect of, okay, the North Korea deal has been finished. Just like when the news had no idea what was going on, we were over here on the Q boards getting hints from Q that they had already been to North Korea and that the deal was already done. And then it came out later that, Mike Pompeo had already went and visited with them, and the deal was basically already being set up and negotiated behind the scenes, and nobody knew about it. And Q's asking us, do we understand the comms? And I think, yes, we're starting more and more every single time that we see these proofs to have a better understanding of how Q's going to continue to communicate with us through these means that are not conventional, because you still can't allow this board to go mainstream at this point. I mean, as much as I think they all probably want it to, we're gonna have to go through a lot of tribulation and trials here before we're able to break this information out to the world, because the information in and of itself is dangerous for the simple fact that there are so many people out there who will not accept certain realities and truths that may be presented to them, which is unfortunate. And it truly leads me to worry in general about this country as a whole. But I put my faith in God, and I don't worry too much about it, because the light will always overcome the darkness. Good will always defeat evil, and we will come out ahead because God is behind us, and God wants us to continue to spread the information, and as long as it's the truth, and to keep shining light on injustices. So there's nothing wrong with I think what we're doing here, as far as just looking at information and taking it and then putting it against everything out there in the news cycle. And this whole channel, the point is to get you, for me, I want to spread the word of God first, obviously, but the secondary point is to just get information out there that the mainstream media refuses to cover. So if you guys have any thoughts you want to contribute about in different interpretations or different breakdowns of these posts, please go down and leave those in the comments. I would certainly appreciate it. But that's going to basically wrap it up for this episode. I want to say thank you. If you are looking for a way to contribute to the channel, and I really need all the help I can get, the easiest way to do it is, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, to come here to this landing page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That helps me out more than you guys know. It's like even like throwing me a buck, and you don't have to do anything. It's free to you. And all you gotta do is come hit that button if you haven't hit it already, and subscribe to the channel. And when you hit the bell for notifications, you'll be notified when these videos get posted. The second best way you can contribute to the channel, my favorite way, scroll down at the end of this video and leave your thoughts, theories, insights, comments, anything you want to drop down there about what you're thinking about what we've just heard. Please contribute. There's some great dialogues going down there, some great conversations. We have a lot of great people who tune in regularly and leave their thoughts and theories down there, and it continues to build this amazing dialogue of breaking down and analyzing Q posts, which is really the whole point of the comment section here, in my opinion, is for us to talk about the video and talk about the Q posts and talk about what they mean. So that's another great way to help out. Now, if you're looking for a great way to contribute to the channel directly, come over here to patreon.com. That's patreon.com. When you come here, you can just click this search box, type Just Informed Talk in. It'll take you to this landing page. You click this button to become a patron. You can come check out my rewards and my goals. There's some cool stuff you can get into at different reward levels if you want to get involved with that. And also, if you're just trying to help keep the channel alive, I want to thank you all very much for getting involved with that. That helps me out so much more than you know. And it's a great way to help out. And part of that will be contributed to, part of the donations will go to charity, as I say. But thank you in advance to everybody who comes over here and checks this out and continues to help keep this channel alive. So thank you to everyone for that. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about, which is, in my opinion, obviously the most important thing. What are we dealing with here? What is the reality that we're in? The reality is that right now, Q has pointed out that the push is on, the attack is coming. The attack is going to get worse. The further we go exposing the information, exposing the child abuse, the child sacrifice, the Satanism, the corruption, the evil, all of these things, the further we go into just basically bringing light to the darkness, the more attacks we're going to face. And he just outlined all those articles to show us exactly what we're up against. And why is this happening? It's because we have unrighteous leaders. We have unrighteous leaders. We have men and women serving in positions of power who chose to abuse those positions of power in order to sell our country out while enriching themselves. And for a lot of people, that's going to be a very hard pill to swallow. But the only way we can digest this information is with God's help. we have to seek God's guidance first. We have to seek God's wisdom first. We have to get up every morning and think, man, God is going to be here for me regardless, and that's going to be my eternal salvation. So why shouldn't I push to follow him every day harder and harder, because he's only going to deliver me from this evil or this trouble or this hardship. That's what God is there for. He's there for you, but you have to reach out to him. You have to call on his name and pray to him and make sure that your life is led in a way where every day is your best attempt at abiding by what God has laid out for us. And the verse that brings us to is pretty interesting in talking about the unrighteous leaders who are going to be condemned. So this is from Isaiah. It's chapter 56 into chapter 57, but 56 verse 9 and forward. And what we're going to read is just a little cutout here that is going to tell us what's going to happen to these unrighteous leaders and how they're going to be condemned by God. Because that is the ultimate victory, is bringing God into the hearts of those who have been wicked and evil. It's not about a victory against anything other than evil. We're not trying to do anything besides expose evil with the truth of God. So here we go. Let's read through it. It's again, it's Isaiah chapter 56, verse 9 and forward. And it says, "All you animals of the field and forest, come and eat. Israel's watchmen are blind, all of them. They know nothing. All of them are mute dogs. They cannot bark. They dream, lie down, and love to sleep. These dogs have fierce appetites. They never have enough. And they are shepherds who have no discernment. All of them turn to their own way, every last one of them for his own gain. Come, let me get some wine. Let's guzzle some beer, and tomorrow will be like today, only far better. The righteous one perishes, and no one takes it to heart. Faithful men are swept away, with no one realizing that the righteous one is swept away from the presence of evil. He will enter into peace, and they will rest on their beds, everyone who lives uprightly." So that's just another way of saying that those who are working against us, those who are evil, those who have fierce appetites, but they have never have enough, and they have and those who are shepherds with no discernment. So the people who are leading us, who want to get us into these predicaments that are going to ultimately lead to our demise, that they are the ones who will suffer, and that the righteous will not perish. And if he does perish, and if he is swept away, he'll be swept from the presence of evil. So remember that no matter what we go through on a daily basis, that these people who have led us astray, these bad shepherds, these shepherds with no discernment, that they are going to get they're going to get their punishment. But it's going to be a divine punishment that none of us can prescribe to them. Now, we can seek justice here in this world, but trust and know in your heart that those who've made the decision to sully the name of God or act dishonestly against it, or to not profess that as their faith first and foremost, those are the ones who are going to ultimately eternally suffer. So just take that and remember that God is here for you, and God loves you, and that God is a part of everything that you do. And all you have to do is reach out with a prayer, a simple prayer to connect to God. And then once you open your heart to God, a light will come into your heart, and then you can shine that light into the world. And you can bring blessings onto your family and yourself and everyone else who you can show the way of God, everyone else who you can bring God's word to, and help their heart feel solace knowing that Jesus died on the cross for their sins, and that they have life eternal as long as they seek it from God. So that's going to be it. If you don't take anything else away from this episode, please take that away. Again, please leave your thoughts and theories down. I really want to hear what you guys have to think about these last two posts, as far as especially regarding what they were saying about, or why was it taken down from Patriots Fight? Why was it taken down from Patriots Fight? That would be a great question to kick around down in the comments. But again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, here's a great time to come over here to the landing page. You can check out some of my other videos, and you can click that big red subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. But that's going to be it for me. I want to say thank you all for watching. This has been Just Informed Talk. My name is Craig. Godspeed, and God bless each and every one of you, Patriots.